Hello everyone. We, the Team 3 of MLS Fellowship Explorer batch of the Sneaky Skylarks pod, would like to present the project that we have developed over this hackathon sprint named oloid. Oloid is basically a web-based application that allows the educators to help build assignments and examinations for students which they can attempt even in an offline mode. The team which built this project consists of three members. The first one is Rachit Gupta, who was the project designer and the user interface developer for this project. Me, Harsh Mishra, worked on the GitHub workflow and managing the whole project through documentation and the wiki, while Farhan, due to some reasons, was not able to work with us for this project sprint. The problem that we are trying to solve as part of this project is something that is plaguing multiple educational institutions across many third world countries. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many of the students are forced to do online exams and the assignments. And in countries where internet connection is not a luxury, attempting these examinations is always a mess. Many of the times the students are not able to submit their assignment or to submit their exam due to some sort of an internet connectivity issue. We basically boiled down this problem into three major problem steps. The first is that the students cannot access online examinations due to connectivity issues. It is quite plausible that the student will not be able to open the exam or he will not be able to submit his answers for that. Next, the problem is that like submitting assignments and solutions on the crucial time is always a mess, and therefore a student needs a much better method to submit their assignment in a much proper way. And lastly, the institutions don't have any such sort of softwares or don't show any sort of a leniency in considering network issues, and the whole blame is put on the student with and they can like do very less things about this. So to solve this problem, we basically came up with this idea, which is named oloid, that allows the students to attempt assignments and examinations completely offline. The primary focus of this application was to build an offline first web application that will be a progressive web app that can even be installed on our desktop or even on a mobile, which will allow the student to access the examination or the assignment almost at any time. Next, we wanted to use some sort of encryption that will allow the teacher or the educator to basically bundle up the assignment or the examination and send that over to the student from much beforehand. And with offline sync technologies, we can even allow the submission to be made offline. And lastly, we were looking to leverage some UI UX development with Flutter to give a better user experience to the end user. The technology stack that we used for this project was Flutter Web for developing the user interface for this application, Firebase for authentication of users on this platform, and Cloud Firestore for storing the assignments and the examination notes for the students. The timeline for this whole project was divided into three steps. The first one was to prototype the UI UX using a prototyping tool like Adobe XD. The next one was to develop the front end user interface using Flutter Web. And the last one was to encrypt the data and develop the backend interface for the whole application. The target market for this application are students for whom the application would be quite beneficial because they are suffering from poor connectivity issues. And with this application, they can even attempt examinations or submit assignments even if they are offline. Next, we are going to have educators, and with this application, the educators can simply bundle up all the examinations and the assignments, and they can send that to the student much before the actual examination date. So it will be encrypted and it will be a time-based encryption. So the student will only be able to unlock it on that specific date and time.
Sure, Harsh has already introduced you to our project called Oloid. So I'll just give you a very quick demo of our Adobe XD prototype, and then I'll soon be moving into the actual MVP that we've created till now. So yeah, this is the landing page of our web page. On clicking on login, the user will be able to log in. He or she can create a new account, go back to login, click and confirm. So these are the three main things that we have for our target audience. The teachers can create a new test, they can check their graded tests, and a student can download a test. So on clicking on creating a new test, the teachers will be able to add questions from here. And I don't know if Harsh has already said this or not, but we will randomize all these questions so that students have lesser scope to cheat with other students. And we're generating a password every time a teacher creates a new test, and this password will help students to download the encrypted file of the test. So yeah, this was the create a test option. Now the student can download a test. He or she just have to put the test code here, click on confirm, and a test downloaded test will appear here. They can see their previously attempted test, they can click on it, and they can attempt the paper as and when the time allows them to. So for example, if the test starts at, let's say, 9 a.m., that is when file the encrypted file will decrypt itself. So yeah, this is where the downloaded test section will come. Then we have the graded test section. The teacher can put in the test code and click on confirm, and then see the list of tests. So, and according to the test codes, so if he or she clicks on the list, they can see that this person scored this much marks in this test. So yeah, we're also automating the process of grading, and due to the whole process of us encrypting and decrypting the files, it kind of creates a bond between the teacher and student, and they can now both trust each other. So yeah, that was the Adobe.
The future plans that we have for this project is to implement the offline sync architecture that forms the main core of the application. So for now, we have implemented only the front end of the application. So we are looking to get started with the backend implementation as well. We also want to implement a core encryption that will allow the educators to encrypt the assignments or the examinations before releasing them. And lastly, we will work on improving the UI UX experience for both educators and the students. So that was all about the project. Thank you for listening to our project overview and viewing the project status that we have completed.